Handy Sandy invites you to the Museum of Dolls and Dollhouses in Warsaw, Poland. Let's have a look at these lovely, lovely things.
Historyczne.
Oczywiście, to są
Tutaj
współczesne.
Współczesne, mamy gotowe takie w stanie surowym.
Takie kity.
W sprzedaży, a
Tak.
tu jest pokazane, jak można taki domek udekorować.
So these are dollhouses, modern, that they sell as kits here, and you can make beautiful designs. So here we are, the dollhouses. These are all dating back to the 1940s. This particular items are 1915. These are what children used to play with. I mean, everything is perfection. Real pillows, real mattresses, made of wood, proper furniture. Looks like an Asian family here, Chinese. The dolls date back between 1910 and 1930. Whilst here we have some more contemporary items from the mid-70s to the 80s, which I guess we can see by the colourings. Look at that cooker, completely made of metal. Musical instruments, pianos, dating back to the 1950s, a house with piano. 1950s, made in Germany, with real paintings. And here we go. You can see the Fraulein preparing a nice meal in the countryside. 1934. Look at that, little baby in bed. The cross of Jesus and some beautiful paintings. Let's move along. The Museum of Dollhouses and Dolls in Warsaw, Poland, in the Old Town. Super easy to find, and the Old Town really is quite spectacular. You know, you can really understand why ladies are so creative and have so much attention to detail. These are from the 1930s and 1940s. Here we have a wooden house built in the 1970s, and it really has the full structure of a wooden house. 2 floors, ground and upper level. Very pretty. We move along. Again, 1950s to the 1960s. Excuse me, didn't mean to get that close. Look at this lovely one. That is nice. With a garden, a patio, or terraza, a terrace, leading on to this beautiful interiors. Fantastically furnished. And we go downstairs with like a salon, beautiful red colour, with a gramophone. And that takes us on to the kitchen, where Daddy's having something to eat. Here we have a particularly good example. It's called the Miss Hope House, which is 1945 to 1950s design. Again, single story. With staircase. And they have a storage room with all this delicious food. And of course, chimneys. Very, very nice. Amazing sofa. Great kids' room upstairs. And again, a kitchen. Let's go. It's called a Gottschalk house with terrace. Circa 1958-1960. Manufactured as part of a series by Mortis Gutrek. So they're all very much built in Germany. Here is another example. This one has 3 stories. I hope you can see them. 1, 2, and 3. With the facade. And actually a very pretty facade. Very nice theme. Here is, it's called beach huts. Miniature replicas of English beach huts and changing rooms for the 1910 to 1920 with handmade hammocks, screen umbrellas, lifebuoys and beach toys. Incredible. Handmade from the 1920s. And we have some more. Also older houses. Check this one out. Underneath we have the Villa Gisela from 1900s, made in wood. Imagine, 120-year-old house in mint condition here at the Dollhouse and Doll Museum in Stare Miasto, the old town in Poland. This is a 1/35th scale, 19th century. With another example from the 1930s. Handmade. Amazing. Just compare this to everything we're making nowadays. Plastic manufactured toys. A little bit of an embarrassment, guys. The attention to detail here is perfection. Not too dissimilar to really cars that were manufactured in the 30s. They may have not been that efficient, but they're absolutely stunning. Here we are. 1950s to 1960s. This particular one was manufactured in 1968. Again, another set from the 1970s. But still quite funky. But again, we turn to plastic as the modern material. Not particularly environmentally friendly. This was produced in 1945. And some accessories. you have to have your accessories. You can have a baby doll. You can have a vanna or a bath. They're called bathtubs and showers. Bathroom kits. This particular model is the Szpital Świętego Bonifacego, St. Boniface Hospital. 5-story wooden hospital from the 1920s to 1930s. Not only do you have the facade, but you have complete internal elevations containing operating theatre, a nursery, a general ward, and more patients. Very nice. This particular item, or dollhouse, is a 1930s vet clinic. So you can just imagine how they really had worked out our forefathers and mothers, if they could afford it, because I'm sure they were very expensive in their days, to replicate different themes. And even stables with horses. And they certainly dress differently. Look at that. There's the grain, or the hay. Really quite impressive. And a Dutch tenement house, also from the 1930s. Next to that, we have a fisherman's cottage that was actually restored in 2017. Again, based on a Dutch theme. A small Polish wooden house. A horse rider's room, 1/8 scale, from the turn of the 19th to the 20th century, by Maciej Szolkan, designed in 1905 by his grandfather, a well-known artist. A folk chamber, an old bread bin. So they take an old bread bin and create a theme. A colonial shop. Quite wonderful. A tailor's house from 1950s. And a salon. Let's move along. Who likes toy shops? In the little toy shops, these are miniatures from the 50s to the 1980s. Well, that car does look a bit newer, if you ask me, than Mini, but it's all lovely. And what would you do without a butcher? You have to have your meat, or a butcher lady butcher. Fantastic.